Well, I'm back at my tree again. This is a trail that I do early season cleanup on, and yeah, trees on the far bank over there, they certainly grown up good. Wow. I'll see if I can put together some pictures over the years from this point, just to show you how quickly those trees are. See, that was all clear cut up there, all that up there on that hill, that was all clear cut a few years back, and as you can see, it's all growing nicely now. Yeah, wow. I will head on my way. Well, I didn't have to go far to find the first customer on this trail. Yeah. It's always the same this time of the year on this one. Right, I'll get set up and I'll get that one cleared out of there. Well, done and dusted. First decent sized one off of this trail so far. I might just roll that log over actually. There you go. Right, job done. I didn't have to go far to find the next one. That one sucks, it's bigger. What can we do? Cut that there, I guess. So on a scale of, I don't bloody think so. I only have my little saw with me today. I'm sure I probably could cut that, but it'll take me half hour to cut it. That tree must be a good 14 inches through. So, safety first. We will climb over that one. That's a big tree, eh? Yeah, we'll climb over that one. That can stay there. Somebody will come up here with a chainsaw. Yeah. I'll do the little stuff. I do what's safe. Whenever I'm out doing this stuff, because I'm out here on my own, middle of nowhere, so I tend to do what is safe. If it's not safe, I don't cut it. So I will move on up this way. Well, after stepping over that large one, there's one that was down there that I've stepped over for about 3 years, and it was been there so long there's nothing I could do to clear it. It's about 16 inches through, that one. Yeah, right. Now, I've said in some of my other videos, always make sure you look up. There's a little green one in here, which I'm going to get out of there in a second. But if you look, the one that knocked it over is that great big one that goes way up there, and it's dead as a turd. So always do a tree assessment, because I'm going to be under there in a minute, and I'm going to be cutting that one, and then you don't know what's going to move when I do. So I'm just going to go and have a really good look around this tree before I cut anything, to make sure that that other one is not going to come down. Yeah. Well, I moved it, nothing else moved. That small one was knocked over by those two big ones. So when you move the small one, you don't know if the big one's going to come with it. So always better to be careful, I can tell you. Yeah. I've cut pretty small trees in the past, and then had bigger ones come down. So safety first. I'm out on my own, so always safety first. Well, that's a lot. I just found one that snapped in half, and I literally just picked it up. One just down there, I just picked it up and pushed it off the farm. This one, not so much. Got that through there somewhere. got the white snow mould on it. That one's been down over winter. That's got snow mould on it. You get that white mould on them. So yeah, I think I might leave my saw out. I keep putting it away, and 20 seconds later I have to get it back out. So I think I will keep my saw out. I think got a feeling I'm going to need it. Right, on to the next one. What's that, number 4? Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if you count the one I just pushed off the trail. So yeah, right, on I go. Here's a tree I've shown in some of my other videos. That one there used to be right across here. I cut that off, stacked the bits up there. Nature's reclaiming it, moss is slowly eating it, slowly rotting away. But that becomes your legacy thing, see. Nobody knows who cleared that tree off the trail. Nobody cares who cleared that tree off the trail. But it's off the trail. And for the next 50 to 100 years, when people walk through here, they'll walk past that same pile of wood and have no clue who moved it. But that's just my way of giving back to the trails and this amazing country that we live in. You know, we have a huge amount of freedoms here, and we will maintain those freedoms no matter what. So yeah, down here I didn't put my saw away because down here I typically find a whole bunch of stuff down here, usually small stuff. But let me head down there and see what I can find. Well, this is what I typically find on this trail. Lots of these little ones. Not going to bother filming that because that's going to take me 2 seconds to move that. Right, let's get that off of there. Another little one off trail. If they were all like that today, it'd be nice. Yeah. I can tell you now, the cut blocks around me. It's funny because it only seems 5 minutes ago that they're all being cut, and you look at them and you think, oh Christ, what a mess. But now I walk through them just a few years later and everything's greening up. So when the big trees go down, see these? That's a 4-foot tree. When the big trees go down, the small trees grow. Once the light hits the forest floor, that's the natural progression of forests. You know, that's what people don't understand. They want to see this amazing forest to walk through and they think it'll be there forever. It's not. It's a living system. It's like everything. You get the young, middle-aged, old, die. That's it. It's same with humans, same with trees, same with everything. It doesn't matter. You know, continents even. You look at some of the continents. You know, little trees like that, they fall over, they rot away. They're food for the next generation of trees. Same as us. What we need to do is pass on the knowledge that we have. Listen to the old people. A lot of old people got a lot of good knowledge, and a lot of that knowledge gets lost. It's I see so many incidences now where old skills and old things, they just get lost. Old values too. So very important to pass these things on. Right, and talking of passing on, I'm going to pass on down that way. Well, this one's a perfect example of how one tree took down too. There's a broken tree there which came down and snapped this one off and dumped them right across my trail. That's a bugger, isn't it? Right, so I will get set up and I'll get those cleared off. Now this stuff I happen to know is heavy. So anyway, I'm going to cut stuff into smaller bits on it. Nothing up there. Binding. Oh, this one's binding. That's fine. Didn't have to go far enough. Oh, next one. Holy crap. I had a feeling this was going to be a bad start to the year because we had... Where did that one come from? Where did that fall out? Oh, there it is. We had a really bad windstorm a little while back. I wonder if this tree... This might be a dragger. If I cut it once, I might better drag that bit off the trail. Let's see what I can do. If I cut it there. Right. Not sure if this will drag because it's got too many branches on it. Always nice when you can do that. Yeah. Oh, nice when you can drag them like that. Just cut them and pull them sideways. Saves cutting them twice. Well, I've just had a drink of water. So move on to the next one. Yeah. Yeah, that major wind event we had. Not at all surprised we got a lot of trees down. It's got me a bit worried about the next part of this trail. Right, on I go. Well, I found a few along here that I can't really touch. They're way too big. Wait, quick, Rose shot. Noise, I just heard something. Seen a lot of deer. Loads of deer down here. I reckon if I can get down there, I can probably just cut that one off. I'll get it in there. Okay. Alright. These trees, when you cut these tend to be quite brittle. I'll just cut myself here. These tend to be quite brittle, and this stuff will shatter. And this is the kind of tree you get an eye injury from. So, according to our buddy Norm, there's no more important rule than to wear these safety glasses. I've worked with this stuff before, and this stuff is the stuff that will really give you trouble. Tends to shatter this stuff. Yeah, I think Norm's retired now from what I can see, but that was one of the best bits of advice on TV ever. There's no more important rule than to wear these safety glasses. Right, I've got a lot of weight down there. So let's see if I can cut this top off. This one might spring back up. Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's just do a top cut and see what we get. Get a difference in the sound of the wood. This is very brittle wood, and this stuff can literally just go. Yeah. See? Very brittle. Be careful cutting this stuff. Yeah, this stuff's bad. Yep. The really whippy pines, those you have to watch out for, and those as well. That stuff's brittle as hell. I can see where people have come through here. I don't know if you can see this on camera. Let's turn that around. See if you can see this on camera here. If people come through and they snap the top of the branches off like this, you're going to have to remove this at some stage, so you might as well remove it now. Oh, I think I can see another one up there. I'll leave me saw out, do some more of that. Cut myself quite bad there. Oh well, whatever. As long as I don't leak 8 pints, I'll be good. Well, there's a good depth of water in there this time. Last time I came, we could walk straight across there. That's deceptive. That's about 2 feet deep, that piece right there. But just down there, you can cross on the rocks right there. Yeah, that's about 2 feet deep, that corner. Yeah, nice to see the water back on the surface though. It's been running underneath the rock for a while. And somewhere I do quite often go is I go under here, up through that gap over there and up the hill the other side. But it's bloody steep in there, so I'm going to take the easy route today, which is back that way. Right, on I go. Now, when I set off this morning, I thought to myself, should I bring both my saws, the big one as well as the 2000? I thought, nah, I'll just bring this one. It's scope out the trees. Well, this is a perfect example. Because you've got two together, very good chance of a pinch. Now I do have wedges in that with me, and I do have a little piece of rope. However, and I could cut them. I know I could cut both of those with this saw, no problem. However, if I get a blade stuck or pinched, I'd be completely screwed. So whatever, I will make a note of where that one is, and I will come back when I've got my big saw. Well, this little one I can do. Yeah, there's quite a few big ones down on this trail. That's broken there. If I cut this in the middle, I think I can just swing that round that way. This, you know, I always say that they always fall in the same place. That's when I cut them in. Not much point in wearing safety specs if they're on the top of your head, eh? Oh, a couple done. Oh, what's that? Number 13, I guess that is. Unlucky for some. Actually, that piece of log I need to put there. There's a good reason for that. There's a big hole in the trail right here, so I will move that tree to there and then head on. And this is why I build my little bridges. That one's only 14 foot long, but that water in there is about 1.5 foot deep. So getting across it without the bridge is a pain in the arse. So much easier with the bridge, but they have to be centre tight. There are some seriously big trees down on that trail behind me. Way too big for me to touch. Too dangerous. Right, coming into meadow country. So what we will do, we will stand big clearing, let everything know we're here. Wake, wake, rise and shine. We're just in a crow fly out over there, and the crow's not making a lot of noise, so that's good. Always listen to the crows. If you walk into a meadow like this and the crows are creating absolute hell, don't walk into the meadow. There's a good reason that they're letting you know there's something wrong. Right, I'm going to go straight across this meadow, straight across to that corner over there. Well, this is a spot that anybody who follows my pictures will know. I cut about 10 of those out of there last year. I just cut another one out down there, so we're up to 14 now. And the two trees that I thought were going to fall down are still up there. They still haven't fallen down, those leaners. Can't believe it. Cut that one off a couple of years ago, and all these. There's a small one there, I just whipped the top off of that one. Makes it easy to get across. Well, I'll be. I can't believe that those two there, I was absolutely certain they were going to come down, especially with the bloody windstorms we've had. No, so, oh well, that's good. On to the next lot. Well, now that sucks. My bridge, oh, this is mud in here. Let's get on the rock. This is such a prick to get across this one. That's why I put that bridge in. That bridge is 22 foot long. That's the big bridge I built, right? And yeah, bloody great tree fell on it, and there's about 4 leaners all hanging over it. There's nothing I can do about that. So I will cut this one off. It's in the middle of the creek, and yeah, nothing I can do. This is just pure mud. Everything I'm stepping in now is just pure mud, absolute mud. Look at it. This is why I put this bridge here, because with that welly boots, I tell you, you try getting across it. Oh, there's some deep mud. Oh, well, that really sucks, because there ain't nothing I can do to clear that. Oh well, best made plans and all that. See the size of this. Yeah, my bridge is underneath it. Oh dear. Yeah, see the way they just rot out in the bottom there. Look. Yeah. Oh well, not a lot I can do about that. That bridge is done. Oh well, it was a good effort while it lasted. What I might have to do is come up here, dismantle that bridge, and thing is, I can't put it over this side, because I can tell you now that is a swamp. Over there, that is just a swamp. Yeah, so I'll cut this one off that's in the middle of the creek here, get rid of that. Oh, well, that really sucks. I may have to completely reposition that bridge, but not quite sure how. Right, let me clear that one out of there and I'll go from there. Well, no, that really sucks. Look at that. I can tell you, this water in here is almost up to the top of my boots, just getting across here, and the other side of that is thick mud. Like in normal hikers, you're not getting across there. That's why I put this bridge here. But yeah, this bridge is perfectly fine. However, we now got a bloody great tree sitting on it. So if I come up here with my big saw, I may have to just bite the bullet and see, because I've just looked, there's nowhere for me to reposition this bridge to. Absolutely nowhere. Yeah. Well, that really sucks. That was actually pretty difficult to get across it. I've got another tree here that's looking like it's coming down. So that's going to come down across there. Well, that's a bugger. Nothing I can do about that. Getting across here, that mud the other side there, it was nearly pulling my welly boots off. And that tree over there, although it looks good, it's not. It's rot as hell. Yeah. So, yes. Oh well. I might have to just bite the bullet, come up here and see if I can cut that up and do something with it, but I might have to bring somebody with me for that one and a big chunk of rope. Yeah, that's a nasty looking tree. Right, that's definitely not a tree you cut on your own, that is for sure. Right, on I go. Bugger. Yeah, well, I'm going back a completely different way than what I'd planned now. I got that one out from the middle of the creek there, so that's 15. So I'm going to go back a completely different way than what I planned and go from there. This is how camouflage grouse are. Stood right in the trail. See that piece of snow? Right at the end of the piece of snow. See the grouse? Yeah. They won't move until you get close. Watch. See? I've seen loads of them up in here. That's really cool. Nice to see. Come on, Mr. Grouse, off you go. I'm not going too much further up. This is as far as I'm going on this trail, because basically this is the end of this trail. Yeah. It used to go a lot further, but as you can see, it now doesn't. Look at it. This whole trail's like this, completely washed out now, completely swamped up. You can't even go that way anymore. Don't even bother. Yeah. The diehards might want to go that way, but there's between here and anywhere you need to get to, there's probably about 15 to 20 crossings like this, and it's just thick mud. So that's not the way I'm going to go. I'm going to cut off in the forest here, go and find somebody to sit down and have a cup of tea. Time to have a rest, have a cup of tea. Have a cup of tea. Always nice to stop for a brew. A little bite to eat. So, cheers people, thanks for coming along. This is the crazy crap I do on the weekends. This is my enjoyment, this is what I enjoy doing actually. Oh, look at that's hot. I don't know what time it is because I can't see the sun. But I can tell you now, I made that tea about 5 o'clock this morning, so I've no idea what the time is now. I must have been out, I'm going to guess it's probably 10 o'clock-ish, I guess, something like that. So 4 or 5 hours that's been in there, and that's still too hot. Oh, there are so many downed trees in here, it's just insane. I can see somebody's been through with the chainsaw. I've had to cut across from the trail I was on. I've had to cut across to a completely different trail, because the trail I was on, the mud was horrendous. I had to wash my boots off in the creek. The mud was literally up to about here. Yeah, but yeah, I need to do something about my little bridge, because that's going to be a pain without that. Yeah. Let's hope Mr. Chainsaw Man comes up through there and clears that one off. If not, I'll have to come and do it. Oh dear, yes. Good lunch break. Good place to stop for a cup of tea. Always make sure you bring tea. Yeah. Right. Right. There's some deer along here. Nice deer track along here, very clearly defined. Found some wild horse track earlier on. Couldn't figure out what it was. I thought it might be a bear. I thought, no, that's not right. It's the wrong spacing. Way too far apart for a bear. I'm looking at it and I think, oh no, there we go, it's wild horse. I found a really good hoof print. So, yeah, wild horses on that other trail that I was on. I've just been wandering along here thinking to myself, like you do, saying to myself, next weekend is May Long weekend, and the roads to a lot of the places I go and the trails that I look after are open next weekend. My Nemesis road, that's going to have to dry out for a few weeks. That's there ain't no way I'm going to get up in there in my car, no chance at all. However, the bottom route in on there, I was just looking at all the trees that are blown down in this area and thinking to myself, that is going to be an awful lot of deadfall up in there. So I think when I head up in there, I mean, look at it here. That's new. This is all fresh cut. Somebody's been up in here and done an excellent job of clearing out all the crap on this trail. Yeah. But I was just thinking to myself, the trails that I look after down in the Sheep River Valley, there's going to be a lot of deadfall in there. So That is definitely going to be ropes, 2 saws, spare blades, maybe even see if I can rustle up a volunteer to come with me. Yeah, it's always difficult to find a volunteer to come out and do a hard day's work out in the forest. But I will see what I can find. Yeah, yeah, yes, we shall see. Look at it, dead trees everywhere. I walked through here last year, and I can tell you now, everywhere I'm looking, we did have a major, look at it, more over in there. We can get very high winds, that's not a problem. We don't normally get extremely high winds for an entire day. And I think that's what the problem was. We've lost a lot of trees in through here. Right, I will continue on my way down there. Right. I'll stop somewhere else when I get another place with a view, and I'm going to have something else to eat. That's always a good sound in the forest, eh? Seen loads of grouse today, lots of woodpeckers too. Is he going to do it again? It's just up in the tree over there somewhere. That's a great sound, eh? Right, heading back. Looks like I might get some blue skies this afternoon. Yeah, right. Oh, another woodpecker the other side. Oh, I love that sound. It's brilliant, isn't it? Right, on I go. Well, stopped off at the bench. There's a homemade bench along here. It's actually a perfect spot for it. Stopped off on the bench. Enjoy the view, what you can see. Can't see a lot. It's a good spot to stop. Woodpeckers going nuts behind me. Great place for a cup of tea. Right, I'm going to do exactly that. Great spot to stop a while on this nice little bench. Have an orange. Oranges are really good. They're really, really yummy and they're full of sugars. Keep you going on the trail, that's for sure. It's good. What a great place to sit and stop for a cup of tea. Cheers, people. Great spot for a cuppa. Yeah. Always bring tea. It's one of life's simple pleasures. Just sit here, listen to the bees. I can hear lots of bees. That's good. There's one flying around me now. They see the bright orange. They see the colour. There he goes. Not sure what I am. Can probably smell the orange that I've just had to. Oh, it's gone. Well, over there somewhere. Yeah, the bees are very, very important. The woodpecker is shut up. He was just over here. He went that way. Yeah. There's another one over there. Oh, bees back. Bees not sure what I am. Flies around as well. It's coming up for bug season. Yeah. So, cheers. A lot of birds. Loads of birds. couldn't tell you what some of them are. I bumped into a young lady last year or year before out in the mountains, middle of nowhere. Tamara her name was. Very nice young lady. And she had this phone app thing, I think it was called Merlin. And you could play the sound, record the birds, and it would tell you what the birds were. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Yes. Yeah. Tamara. Can't remember her last name now. Come to me if I don't think. Yeah. But, middle of nowhere. It's amazing the places I bump into people. She was literally out in the middle of nowhere. Good for her. Out exploring. That's good. That's what the mountains are for. Exploring. Yeah. Oh yeah. That is a nice cup of tea. So nice, in fact. I think I'm going to have another one. You know my saying, more tea I drink, less I have to carry. Yep. It won't be long before I can get back into that area. I was thinking that just now. We've got a lot of trees down here. That valley down there, that really does catch the wind bad. So there might be a lot of trees down there. Yeah. Well, next weekend I will find out. I think the roads open Friday and it's the long weekend. So I might have a look and see. Might take some camping gear with me and head down in there and just camp in there, because I've got a feeling that's going to be a lot of work. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I will check that out. Isn't it quiet? There's a creek just down there. I could cross that creek. I could just head down the hill, cross the creek, head that way for about half a kilometre, maybe a kilometre. That would get me back onto the trail that I was on this morning. However, there's quite a lot of water in there. When I crossed where my bridge was all messed up because it got a tree on it, the mud in there was just horrendous. There's very few places through this particular area of mountains that you can walk with dry feet. So especially this time of year. Yeah. Nice bench though, isn't it? Eh? Yeah, not sure who put this here, but it was definitely purpose built, because there's a stump there and they've cut a notch in that end to put this log on, and it's exactly the right height for a bench, so whoever it was, thank you. Yeah. Most people probably travel right by and not even notice, but it's not a bad spot. There's a little bit of a view, not much. Anywhere out in the mountains is a good place to be, especially with a cup of tea. Right, tea break's over. That was my view for my tea break. Not a bad view, eh? Can't nod that. Mr. Woodpecker's back. Yeah. Yeah. Right. I'm going to continue on my way down the trail and see what else there is to do. Right, that's me almost back at the beginning. So I will use this as my closeout picture. Thanks very much for coming along. It's been a nice trip around the mountains. Yeah. And I will call that a day. Thanks for coming along.